So good evening and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne, live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel, coming out to you here on Tuesday. Second day we've actually been coming out live because we pulled the draw for the jersey for Ben Swift for the members of the DCG gang. Couple of quick bits of housekeeping notes for you. If you are a male rider, please guys, if you're watching this for the first time and you think, I want to have a ride, don't sign up on Wednesdays. It's Women's Wednesdays and we've got loads of rides just for women. So if you're not a female rider, please guys, don't enter Wednesdays. You're just wasting your time and ours. One or two people have done it. If you've got any questions, don't forget, of course, we've got the Facebook page. Over 2,000 people on the Facebook page, all of which are there to help support you. Just please remember, guys, treat them with a bit of respect because they're all just part of the community, and we are looking forward to bringing more community events as well. We are, of course, going to be bringing you the rides on Tuesday and on a Thursday, 2 rides a week, which are the open chain gangs, open to everybody. And of course, like all of our events on Zwift, they're all free to ride. But if you do want to upgrade, join the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. We send you all the links direct to your inbox. We also get you on those great draws for things like Ben Swift's jersey. We've got another great one for Fellaskin, and that's going to be coming up next week. And we've got lots of goodies going out to our members as well. And of course, we've got Halo Wheels at the end of the month as well. Really, really busy. And we've got a lot going on. We've also got a nutrition talk because our great partners at OTE have got a nutrition talk just for members. And if you're a member, the link's in the email. We get that out to you. You get an email at the start of the week with all the links in. You get an email prior to each ride on the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday if there's 3, Tuesday and Thursday if there's 2. And those all have all the links to the events. It's also got the link to join the talk by Annie. And there's loads of time for questions. So if you want to know how to fuel yourself up for a marathon ride, whether it's for a run, whether it's for a sprint event, make sure you join the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. That is how we keep the show on the road. It's really, really simple. Now, we have quite a lot of things going on for you, one of which is going to be, hopefully on the end of the phone, a quick conversation with Russ, because we're cutting it fine tonight. Russ, how are you doing?
Good, mate. I thought you were going to just let me get on with it then, pushing it right to the wire. But yeah, good to talk to you, mate. It's only been a day.
I know, it has only been a day, but we were at least, I could just about make out the whites of your eyes when you called over to do the draw. And you brought some goodies as well, because I have to admit, the moment that you came on air and started talking, I was quickly on the coffee.
I thought I could hear some grinding away of some black coffee.
Indeed, some Yellow Beacon blend, no less.
Yeah, so they partnered up there with Grand Tour Coffee to do a specific Yellow Beacon blend, Carl Kapinski's art on there, and we should be sticking it out to members first, and then see if we've got any left, and then we'll keep selling it and keep fueling the body.
Yep, definitely. We are really looking forward to really getting that out there, aren't we? It's part of being part of the DCG gang is that you get first bite of the cherry when it comes to the rides. You get all the support from the gang, and you also, of course, get all those discounts as well. And really got to say a massive thank you to everybody, haven't we?
Yeah, they're all keeping the show on the road, and like I said, it's not only they're making their own products, they're teaming up with us now and doing some little quirky things, like the coffee. So yeah, it's all good, and it's keeping a bit of excitement in these crazy times.
Definitely, and we of course have got 1 minute to go. So I'll run through the course. I know you picked this because it goes up the biggest hill in the world ever.com. Any clues on when it's going to go, or are you keeping that a secret again?
It's always a trade secret. We've got three laps of the leg snapper, so it'll go sometime after the third time on there, really. So
excellent. I love it. That's what we want to see. So let's see how we're going to go on. Russ, have a great ride. We'll try and get hold of you partway through the ride somewhere.
Yeah, I nearly missed the start there. I just looked up and it says 20 odd seconds to go.
I know. Better let you go, mate. Get those legs stirred in.
All right, mate.
So thank you very much, Russ, and let's get you straight into the map, because these are the details you need on the Donny Chaingang tonight. As you can see, it looks like a little bit of a very weird lollipop. In fact, nothing like a lollipop. Basically, we've got a big circuit around what is the Innsbruck ring circuit, and our riders setting off from the start by the orange dot will be making their way round, and they're going to be heading across to the climb after. So we do basically 3 full laps of the Innsbruck ring circuit, and then we go across to the climb, which is the King of the Mountains climb. Now, as you can see, it's basically one long course. So 3 laps of Innsbruck ring, then the big climb. 37.5k for the circuit plus a 0.2 leading, and our rider's just about to head underneath the gantry. Our yellow beacon is Russ Downing, and Emma is our red, Emma Payne, who's our leader on the yellow beacon ride in terms of the women's event, which is tomorrow, Women's Wednesday, supporting women's cycling, getting more female riders into Zwift and into riding, and giving them support, just giving them something to look forward to, which is exactly what we aim to do with the men. Now, you can see at the bottom of that we have 2 key things. Warm down to the blue banners of only about 800 metres, and that's quite simply to give us time to get back. We also always finish at fixed distance, and you may have noticed after the past few weeks that there have been some discrepancies in people's distances, and that's why we always leave a margin of error just to allow for any variation. It also means you finish at a fixed point. We also need it because this is what you're facing in terms of a hill. Let's go to the Velo Viewer profile. Now, as you can see, there is a multitude of gradients in this. Velo Viewer have all of the details you're going to need when you're out on course. At the moment, our riders are just heading out on the small loop at the bottom, and we flip this around just to give you a clearer idea of just how steep this climb is. We have a series of steps in there. Basically, when you come round a bend, the odds are you're going to hit a steeper section of climb, but none of them are overly long. But you do need to choose your pace so that you can climb the mountain side, the king of the mountain, and rest on about 4 to 5%, because it is rarely flat. In fact, 4 to 5% is generally where the flat bits are. That's as flat as it gets out there. So make sure you jump on the screen, and make sure you jump onto Velo Viewer. Have a little look. Now, our riders are heading out and around, so let's just jump in with the riders, and let's see how far out and around circuit they are. So at the moment we just jumped in with Mr. Hind, who is riding around about the yellow beacon at the moment, and just keeping a check on where all our riders are. We'll just jump in. Let's see if we can get in with Mr. Ferrin, because Sean, one of our regular riders, and if we go up in the sky, you can see that these riders steadily making their way along. If you look on your map, top right hand side of the screen, you'll see that we have a map view, and that map view rotates so we can do our close view, and you can see pretty much everybody all together at the moment. Then we have our zoomed out view, and of course our 3D view as well. But the aim of this is all to ride around the yellow beacon until that go point, when it is flat out to the finish. So critical to get yourself out there and stay with the yellow beacon. So let's jump in live here on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel with myself, Matt Payne, and let's catch up with the riders out on the ride. So it looks like car riders up and riding nicely at the moment. This group is pretty busy. We're just going to scroll our way through the riders. Looks like Russ is about 13 riders behind. Lots of riders out there. You can see Charlie Babbitt in there, and the birthday boy. Look at that. He's a certain young Mr. Ketteringham. Well done, mate, for putting off all birthday celebrations. Happy birthday, buddy. And great to see you on here. I can't promise to pronounce your name accurately every week. In fact, if you're like Mr. Liggett or Liggett, you'll get it pronounced wrong every week. It's a sign of being recognised, buddy. So happy birthday. We've got lots of birthday boys out and about, but a big one to this young man. Let's see if we can get an accurate view of him on course. Easier said than done. Let's throw our camera up in the sky, always in at the kill, and let's take a little bit of a look. There he is. Can't see him eating any cake at the moment, so let's see. Just weaving his way in and out. We'll get up and above here. So looks like already plenty of thumbs up, and we definitely need to do that as well. So let's drop a thumbs up down on him as well. So great stuff, buddy, and good to see you in action, and just sitting on the side of the bunch there. So keep an eye. Remember, of course, there are plenty of riders out there. We are going to be keeping an eye on as many as we can here on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel, and we're going to try and jump in with as many of our members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. We might bang on about it a lot, but they are quite simply the people whose support brings you the ride. Without them, we can't spend the time on the Facebook page, which has over 2,000 members now. We can't be bringing all of the coverage, as well as keeping up to date with all of the riders, supporting them, whether it's tech questions, whether it is getting the discounts for our riders, and of course keeping the show on the road. Now, we have done a lot of upgrading, not only on the channel and the coverage, but also in terms of the speed that the coverage is coming out. So you should be getting this. Generally, it's within a second and a half of our riders actually moving along the course. Just sitting in at the moment with Tristan from Harrogate, and Tristan, one of our regulars, right up at the front, along with Mr. Williams and the Fat Cyclist. Now, not sure the Fat Cyclist is going to be there at the end, but we will see. Craig Herring in here as well. So Russ just sitting at the front of this group, and remember, the aim of this is to put it all back together again. Andy Hawes in this group. Horsey, of course, going to have his own group with him on the way round. He's kind of one of our mini leaders almost, a naturally magnetic person, and we are going to see if his magnetism is going to attract him a whole bunch of riders again tonight. So let's see if that is going to happen. It will be interesting to see if he manages to make it stick tonight and keep a group round him up on to the climb. So just keep an eye. Looks like Kieran Simcock's in this group. Mr. Coleshaw in here. Looks like Phil Jones in here, one of our winners, of course, in that fantastic giveaway from OTE for our members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Dan Ladle's in this group, another one of our members as well. And let's try and work our way through some of these winners, and they, of course, getting that pre-launch orange OTE tabs as well. The hydro tabs, which are perfect for indoor training when it's hot. Make sure that you get fueled up properly, and of course they're also there to make sure that you don't get dehydrated. 2% drop in hydration levels is a 20% performance drop. Now, our riders are well out around the circuit here, and we can just see a little bit further back. The guys are going to be looking out for that red beacon. So the cobble's really taking the toll. If we jump up to our camera up in the sky, hopefully we might well be able to dodge some of the road noise on the way through. They are incredibly noisy, and if you've got the right turbo train, of course, on Swift, they replicate as you go through and over the bumps as well. So we are just in with Mr. Micklethwaite, and Micklethwaite is, of course, one of our members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, and good to see him in action and riding as well. If you wonder what you get for your money, well, it's really simple. Your donation of £20 for the month gets you access to all of the event links. You get them earlier than anybody else. Basically, when we have them, you get them. That's usually at the weekend. You are priority number one because you guys are basically making sure it all happens. Now, a little bit of a warm-up for our riders because we are heading up on to the leg snapper climb, and as you can see, Russ nicely sitting in this pack at the moment. And as we go up on to the climb, this is where our riders have to just keep hold of the pace, just keep it down. The leg snapper climb is, of course, exactly what it says on the tin. It is a leg snapper. It is tough stuff, coming up at 8% Fortunately, though, this is only a little climb. As you can see, the top just over the corner, just at the brown brick building, just underneath the Alps there. And you've got to remember, of course, that this is just an aperitif to the main course that is the King of the Mountains. Now, we're just going to drop in with our red beacon. Looks like Emma has already got a little bit of company in here. So we've got Foxy in here. So Lisa, of course, one of our members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. And looks like Mr. Tickle is in there as well. Good to see you in there, buddy. So here we go, and Emma, in theory, is going to be making a little bit of history this week, because Emma is going to be the first rider who will be our red beacon and yellow beacon simultaneously in the same week, because she's our yellow beacon, our ride leader for the women's event that is on tomorrow. And a quick reminder, guys, if you are male, don't bother entering Wednesday's ride, because Zwift won't let you in unless your avatar is female. It is a women's only ride. Women's Wednesdays, it's all in the title. It does what it says on the tin. Now, it is indeed downhill very shortly indeed, and looks like Mark just pushing his way up on here. It's a very quick turnaround. If we just keep an eye on these three riders, we go up. We'll focus on Foxy at the moment, because I think she's likely to be just pushing on towards the front just a little here. So these riders are going to go up, and what happens, you can see on the map at the top right hand side of your screen that it is really critical to stay together, because once you go over the top, you can see how fast those riders start streaming out round the corner. So good to see the riders in action. Looks to me like everything kind of going to plan for our riders to go up over the top. And round the corner they go. We're going to just lift up the volume on Zwift a little bit. Let's get those cameras up a little bit more live as these riders start to make their way in towards the turn. And as you can see now, they're going to go around over the top. And as they come over the top here, it goes down really, really quickly. This is where a larger rider will have some serious pace, because a bigger rider goes faster. I should know. I'm one of those. And that's where the pace picks up and you get the advantage. Now, this is where Foxy, being one of our lighter riders, now are going to find herself having to work hard to get onto the back of the group in front. You can just see a little bit further up the road, the yellow beacon is up there, and Lisa and Tickle and Payne all up here. So Foxy, Lisa Chainlang in here. So it looks like Foxy on the move. They've couple of riders in about 25 seconds. It looks like Cecil and Lim. So let's just go over. There's the riders just kick up over the top here. So Cecil in here, and Cecil in this group, and looks like just starting to move onto the wheel here of Lim. Got to have Ridley in there, and already that pack is starting to stretch things out a little bit. Possibly just a little bit quick for some people's taste, and that's a big mistake. It pays to sit into the group. So it looks like Mr. Ridley, that is Alan Parsons, in here is going to just drop back and ride with the red beacon, and I think that red beacon is going to be sweeping soon. Looks like Lim and Gruff just pushing past at just under 3 watts per kilo, and looks like Mr. Herring a little bit further up the road. He's just going to have to push on if he's going to go up the road. If he's waiting to go back, it looks like those watts per kilo are down. You can just see the yellow beacon in front stretching away into the distance, and the yellow beacon is at the back of the main pack. Remember, the yellow beacon is where our riders should be aiming for. So at the moment, as you can see, Craig Herring just making his way up the road. So just going to be coming up on Reed. Looks like Lim and Co. just pushing on here. So it's like Lim, Ridley, Reed not too far away. This is going to be a good group. I think Herring's going to jump in with him as well. Reed just a little bit further back now. Can Reed just get onto the back of this complete lap number 1? Let's jump to the back of that group. I suspect Nichols is likely to be near the back of the group. As you can see, this is Nichols at the moment. So Nichols is just working to get onto the back of that group. And as you can see, lots of riders just in front. Remember, Zwift, of course, only shows you 100 riders at a time. And that means that it gets very, very interesting if you are one of those riders who is a little bit further out from the main pack. Now, just keeping an eye on the riders in here. Remember, the game is all pylon yellow. That is the key. Just with Darren topless at the moment, who's doing a very good job of piling on yellow. Darren, of course, one of our winners, the man from Sherwood Pines, being a winner in the OTE competition. Speaking of which, time for me to grab some OTE, so let's just keep an eye on Darren as he comes past. So just watching the riders at the back of this group having fun now. Mr. Richardson in this group is to come up underneath the UCI banner. This is the UCI lap banner, but of course we're not finishing down here. We could have finished down here. We're not going to do that. We are going to be finishing at the top of the climb. So one lap complete as our riders go through, one full lap done and dusted, 9k done. But remember, of course, it's all going to be about getting over the top. Now, just on his way past is the most famous man in the entire peloton here. He's so famous, he actually gets recognised when he's out riding in the countryside. It is the Jimmy Allen who's in here. Now, Jimmy Allen, of course, is well known and well renowned as the man whose spin-offs take place on a Saturday. Just having retired from them, rumours that he's collecting his bus pass soon are definitely overrated. That's not actually going to be the case. He was out riding though, and was in danger of being mistaken for some lesser cyclist called Fonzie Downing the other day, but fortunately Jimmy managed to distance himself from them. So good to see Jimmy in action and riding. He may well be giving Russ a push on the way round. The one and only Jimmy Allen in action here on the Donny Chaingang. Speaking of Russ, here's Russ on the yellow Pinarello, and got some very lightweight wheels on for tonight already, and that's really interesting to see. He's gone for lightweight wheels on here with a shout for the group. The front to come back to Russ. Remember, Russ is our yellow beacon, he's our ride leader, he controls the pace. The aim of this is to get a ramped workout. You can just see there looks to be a few groups just stretching off the front, and they are going to pay the price for that later on. Now, we're just going to take a little bit of a run back through this pack. As you can see, plenty of people riding in and around Russ. And let's see if how Mr. Dench is going. Adi Dench, of course, is the man who did the Land's End John O'Groats virtually for charity, and huge amount of money raised for charity by this man. Absolute legend. Adi Dench back riding the Chaingang. And let's see how he gets on as we go up and over the top of the hillside. So looking good at the moment as he makes his way up and through here. So a nice group around the guys, just waiting for a total from any of the exact distances. We're just going to drop back to the guys back here now. Looks like Duncan Reed just a little bit further back. We always do say get your message board on, because the message board is critical. Looks like Foxy just dropping back just to give a tone. Foxy just kicking up to 4.6. Looks like Alan has done a bike swap. Remember, of course, the lighter the bike, the easier it is when you get on the big hill. So let's take a little bit of a look. It looks to me like Foxy just pushing it on. Nice bike there as well. Another of the yellow dogmas there. So Reed and Foxy now pushing to get back to our red beacon. Looks like Tickhill and Emma just together there. I have to apologise if we don't mention first names tonight. Looks like we've got a little bit of a minor tech issue. One of the things we're going to be looking to improve is access to riders' first names, and we're going to be looking to do that for both Russ and myself. It's work in progress at the moment. We are juggling multiple screens, both of us, simultaneously, and of course that is how we get it. Right. Let's take a little bit of a look. It looks like these two on the way to towards the red beacon, so that red beacon sweeping people up at the moment. Now, one of the big advantages of the Chaingang being on this circuit is that we can keep track of the riders who are in front, at the front of the front group, coming up on the back of the back group. And the reason we think that is great, do you know what? It lets us know exactly who is giving it too much beans too early. Now, here we go. This group looks like they're about to come and catch up. And so we have the group here, the red group coming up now. Russ is currently sitting about 15 minutes behind. Looks like Russ has just gone to the front of the group behind. Just keep an eye on what is going on. Now, Russ has jumped on the front. He's saying behaving. This makes my life marginally easier because we can jump in with the front group very shortly as we see the red beacon now becoming a group of 4 riders, much faster riding in a group, and it's all about holding the group together. Let's jump in with Russ. So I think we're going to get some numbers being kicked out from Russ. The numbers says 3 watts per kilo max. Let's keep an eye on these riders. I think I've just seen Brian Smithy in this group somewhere. Just rolling through. Looks like all these riders are working hard at the moment. Looks like Tom was only just going through the group there. Straight in the group, looks like Colshaw in the group. Beefy Colin from Cycleways is in here. Looks like Mr. Thorne is in here, another of our members of the DCG gang. And just going to drop over the top there. Looks like doing a little bit of a change from his usual bike. Just try and get a good view of that bike at the moment. Easier said than done at the moment because it's so busy in that pack. But I suspect, yep, riding on the lightest bike frame in the game. And that is what we want to see. Our groups mobbing up together. Looks like Mr. Mazzoni is in the group. Looking good. Bryce Smithy is in this group as well. Let's see if we can catch hold of Brian. So Brian, of course, commentator and former national champion as well. Brian has the score. Currently riding that level 20 jersey in the pink, and good to have Brian back with us yet again. And that's what we want to see, the group all mobbed up together as they work their way around that yellow beacon. Not too far behind, just starting to see the gaps open up a little bit. So let's just drop back towards the gang. So just jumping up with the helicopter at the moment. It's got the gang back together again. And as Russ says, just took about 12k for people to work out, sitting in the groups the way it's designed to work. And that's what we want, the gang back together. It's really simple, guys. Work together, we all go faster, we all get better times on the way through. So the group coming off the cobbles over the bridge. We are going to work our way through this group, just see where the gaps are as we go up and over the top. The yellow beacon not too far behind, currently sitting at 2 minutes and 19 seconds. And we're just going to jump on with Mulhall at the back here. And just say, come on, this is where you don't want to let any gaps go. It looks like a drop out, so... Miles Curry getting a drop out there already. Looks like Capo and Malin at the moment, folks, just hovering around the back of the group. And it's very, very dangerous. It's not a problem when you're going up the hill, but the moment you go up over the top, that is when it will start stringing out. So looks like Miles Curry taking a drop off the back to be able to push on his way through. And that's what you need to do if you want to get the time down. Drop off the back if you're going to sprint up. 1 or 2 people just doing a few U-turns to get themselves back in the pack, and that is great to see. Just going to drop in with Dowtree, who I think is one of our faster riders. The out of the saddle rider, just picking up Martin Bolt, who is just on his way through. So Dowtree quickly up to 6 watts per kilo, and this is what a lot of our riders are doing. Really is a lesson on how to ride the chain gang. Don't go off the front. So Sonny Went for a convenient break. No wonder you're so quick back on the bike. I tell you something, you must have your pain cave very close to a facility, mate. That is got to be one of the quickest turnarounds. I don't think even Russ could do that quick when he was out and racing. And as you can see, a lot of riders just coming off the back, stretching the legs by coming back into the pack, and that's how it's done on the Chaingang. It's what you do in real life. You make sure you had a little bit of sliding room. Now, Rob Carling in this group. Rob, of course, one of our regular riders. He's been out in the fresh air, which is great to see. Mr. Herring, your fishy ways do not attract us to you at times. Letting on the secrets out on the show as Rob Carling sprints over the top. You can see the gaps opening up in front. If we just ride in with Rob, you can just see how good the gaps have opened up. It's very quick. As you come over here, the gaps open. It's 2 seconds now to Dowtree, who's the rider in front in the green and yellow at the moment. And looks like Carling, Mulhill and Killer are going to have to work here. This really is, listen, why you've got to stay in the groups. If we take a look up at the map up at the top, you can just see it really is starting to stretch out, and these riders soon get distance. Now you drop down and go back up onto here, and this is gonna be tough stuff a little bit later on. So we're heading around now. We're at 15k. We're going to be dropping back down around, and if we zoom in on the top map, you can just see it stretches out. This is another one of those crests that it soon opens up as we go down and along. And these guys really do have to get the pressure on. That yellow beacon already whipping around the left-hand turn in front here in Innsbruck. Now we're taking this left-hand turn around here, and this is where they're going to be looking to see where the beacon is. Not all that far in front, but it's 5 seconds to the nearest rider, 7 seconds to the back of that bunch. And I think Dixon and Malin really are going to have to work here. They've got Dan Coleman there for company. Now Coleman, another of our really quick riders. He's definitely got the power to push, and you can see at the moment just putting in 8.5 watts per kilo up to 10 as we run in towards the green. I think he's going to take a run at the sprint time here to see if he can pull that down. He's still running at 8.7. Now this is the way to ride the sprint. You go from the back to the front. If you ride off the front like a complete muppet, you're not going to go very quick indeed. Coleman pushing his way up and through. He's going to get a quick time, even though he's not pushing big numbers all the way to the finish, and then can drop back in there. So Coleman stretching his legs out from the back to the front, and as you can see, the power of the group is how we go quicker. Look at all of these personal bests being set through there by riding in the group, by working as the Donny Chaingang. Great to see so many personal best times as the groups continue to go through. Let's just drop back as these riders start to come around to the end of that lap. We're in with our beacon group here. It looks like 4 have become 5. It's like the reverse of a boy band and girl band breaking up. Look, pop group disbanding. No, this is getting bigger, and this is what we're going to see. We're going to see these bands group together and become stronger and stronger together. So here we go. It is going to be the gang here. So the riders riding strong. Looks like Alan on the front in the green. Alan Parsons there in the green. Then we've got Duncan Reed. I think it is Lisa Foxy there in the yellow and black. Then it's going to be our yellow beacon for tomorrow. That is Emma Payne. And Tickle just sitting on the back of that group, taking the shelter as it goes up over the climb. Now, we have said Emery's the beacon for the yellow beacons ride. Now, the women's ride is going to be using the Innsbruck ring circuit, which is the standard circuit that we use normally for the Chaingang. They're not going to be doing the KOM. They've been doing KOMs. We've had a real mix of ascents, so it's going to be no big one at the end. Next time out for Emma and all of the women on the women's Chaingang, and we did start putting them on just as a set of specials really to encourage people to ride. It's been really successful. It's great to see so many women out and riding on the women's Chaingang and joining on the open Chaingang as well, which was always the aim of that. Now let's jump back in with Russ, who is a little bit further up the road here, and as you can see riders appearing. That is quite simply because they appear as the numbers push up. Remember, we are looking at 100 riders at a time. If we work our way back through this group, as they come in towards the line. You can see this is a big old pack, which is jumping a little bit too far back, my apologies. And just trying to get to the back of the group, and it looks like Stuart here on the way back. It looks like Andy Briggs and Ian Brooks are not too far off the back here. They can't afford to let that gap go. Andy Briggs and Matlock just seeing Keith Richardson. Now Richardson is one of the riders who can be in at the finish without a problem. Just going onto the wheels of Hopkinson, one of our newer members on the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, Dave Hopkinson, doing the business. Nice flat cap, mate, riding really strongly. And of course, another rider to benefit from getting all of those links first. Priority is the people who keep the show on the road and the wheels turning on the ride. They are the members of the DCG gang. They take priority in terms of getting the links out and opening the ride. If you want to get them first, if you want that convenience, if you want all of the discounts, 30% off OTE if you are a member of the Donny Chaingang Sports Club, and of course exclusive talk and Q&A with limited numbers down to just the members of the Donny Chaingang Sports Club, the DCG gang, on Friday. Plenty of time to sign up for the month. You get a preview of all of the courses, and remember guys, it's in there. And thank you very much, Dave. Makes writing all those emails worth it when people say it's definitely worth a while. Let's take a little bit of a look at more of our riders in the gang here. It looks like James sitting in this group, nicely tucked in there in the wheels, just rounded out Hopkinson. John Paul Wheater's in here, and Hind just going to drop in with John Paul now. In the green of Bolsover, as you can see, and John Paul with some very cool shades. So the aim now is to go to 3 watts per kilo, and just keeping an eye on the guys. Looks like Amir Ashtadi in the group, another of our fantastic riders, who is one of the coach riders from the Downey Cycling squad. So one of Downey Cycling coached riders riding here in the Donny Chaingang, and has the lightest setup on Zwift of all, so should be in with a chance on that climb. The Tarmac Pro Complete with a set of lightweights is the fastest setup uphill. And remember, of course, this is all about, do you need the help and the assistance on the ride round, or do you need it when you get onto the big climb, which is going to be coming up at the finish. Now, just seeing a couple of the riders in. George Cooper in the gang, of course, and George, one of our younger riders, always known for going back and looking after other riders. Looks like Ethan Grimshaw's in there as well. Looks like Mr. Stewart in the group. Looks a lot like Pillsworth in here. Chris Ball in the group. Taylor's in here. Hines in here. Just seeing this group nicely rolling round with Russ, and that's what we're looking for. Now Neil's in here. Neil, of course, Crosscast Neil, my co-host on the Crosscast, the Cyclocross podcast, is in here. And Neil's been riding very strongly indeed in the Chaingang. Good to see you, Neil. And gotta love it when people give us a wave. It shows us that the delay isn't too big at all. And good to see Neil on here. Now, Neil, of course, one of the key people involved in Pretty Gritty, along with Caroline Mansfield. Caroline, in fact, is our Red Beacon tomorrow. And Pretty Gritty, of course, with a discount. They had a great giveaway in February, exclusive to the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang. And great to have that giveaway. And, of course, we've got the giveaway coming up from OTE, from Velaskin as well, and every single solitary member gets a free set of samples from Velaskin and free delivery as well. So not a penny to pay from the leaders in the art of keeping everything super smooth, whether that is your legs or your posterior perched on your saddle. Then the guys at Velaskin have got the works for you. And make sure you get yourselves a sample, and you do that if you're part of the gang. Get it for free postage. All you need to do is to join, and then the links will come in directly to you on the weekly email that comes out to you. So remember, guys, being part of the gang is absolutely critical if you want to stay up to date, save yourself a load of money as well, and of course know exactly where we are heading now. Just going to try and drop in with our Red Beacon group here. So here we go. This is our Red Beacon group, just in with Reed at the moment. Reed sitting in second wheel at the moment in this group of 5. We're working well together here. So it looks like it's Tickle and Reed, along with Ridley in here. Fox is in this group as well. So nice bit of kit on the way through, and Mr. Ridley saying thank you. He's very good as well. I've actually got a currently it's Velaskin hat on actually. I do like my Pretty Gritty one, I must admit. I think it's currently my favourite cap. I have a multitude of caps, as you've probably seen if you've been watching the footage. A small selection of which are on the wall. If you have a cap you don't want, don't throw it out. Whatever you do, send it to me. I'll always take riding caps. I'm old school like that. It's the only thing that makes me look fast at the moment. It's definitely not my riding speed, that is for sure. So, Reed now working well here. Big group at the back. Great to see this group working so well together. We're going to go drop back in. I'm attempting to drop in with one of our members of the DCG gang, someone who we don't always feature. It is Mr. Hayward here. Hayward, a member of the gang and winner of the prizes as well. We're just going to work our way through because I'm looking for Russ, who is somewhere down in the group. It looks like that group just starting to open a gap, in fact, on Russ. I'm going to jump in with Mr. Kerrigan, because Kerrigan is one of our newer riders on the Chaingang. He was out and riding really early on, and good to see Ken in this group riding nice and smoothly. Koos is in this group as well. Just going to jump up in the air at the moment. I'm Fletcher in the group as well. Pritchard in here, and the group just making the way over the cobbles. As you can hear, it's a great way of blowing the microphones apart if we have it up too loud on the sound. And the front of the group now, the group in front are going to have to be careful, because we have and always do say that the front of the ride is the front of the group that is with Russ at the Go Go Go. Anybody in front of the group from Russ is not in the group at the Go Go Go, will not count towards where we are counting places after the Go Go Go. So if they continue to stretch that gap outwards, push on further in front, then they will find themselves not counting on the coverage. We won't cover them at all, and they won't find themselves in the main group. So it looks sort of like that group has heeded the words there and pulled back towards Russ. We're going to drop in with Russ. We've got Fine in first. Never the easiest thing. You know, you'd think the bear would be easy to find. Not always. Here we go. In with Russ now. And Russ looks like that heart rate, currently 124 beats per minute, just ticking his way along at the moment. And Russ pretty smooth on this climb, not too much out of breath, 129 beats per minute. That says a huge amount. And remember, if the Russ was to call that Go 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 now, that's the front. Anybody in front of Russ at the moment, you're out of the game. Always makes me laugh, the number of people who think we don't know what goes on up the front. Always entertaining. We have a huge number of people who watch this, and we have a number of people who are there keeping an eye on what's going on in the group. The advantages of having multiple people on the screen means that we know where the front is, who's doing what, and taking pictures on the way through. Not the best way to get a pro contract is to not follow the rules. So Russ nicely sitting in this pack. I think the gang are nicely flowing around him. Just take it a little bit. It looks like one or two people playing the Muppet Show just off the front. But, you know, that's how it goes. We don't need to worry about them. Just dropping back a little bit here. Looks like Ben from Fellow Viewer in there. Wolfdale Phil's in the group. Looks like Mr. Kinlock in here. Just going to work our way through. Looks like Birthday Boy sitting in here nice and comfortably still. Yeah, Russ, you're dead right. You are the front. That is exactly the point, really, in this. And you can see Mr. Kettering here. Mr. Ketteringham, sorry. Mr. Ketteringham. We'll get his name right. You could get the infamy of never getting it right. Donny relies on... Oh, no, I said it right there. Relies on that all the time. So Barry Kipling sitting in with this, and then looks like Tim Howcroft in here. Andy Hall's in the group here, sitting nice and comfortably and working well. Looks like O'Brien in here and sitting in with the pack. Looks like young Oliver in the group and riding in the kit as well, making his way towards line, getting a new personal record on the way round. So nice riding. Look at the number of personal bests coming from these riders as they go in and through. Millie Skinner in this group, Ethan Grimshaw, looks like Mick Hawkins in here, Taylor's in here, Mulhall's in here as well, Hind and Mr. Singleton sitting in this pack. I think Joe Munden just going to be stretching the legs prior to tomorrow's women's only, the Women's Wednesdays. Looks like Darren Topless in here, Rich Orrell in the group. Rich, of course, another of our fantastic riders who's been with us pretty much from the start. Just going to try and jump in a little bit further back, work our way through these groups. Just jumping in with Jarvis as well. So Matlock in here, looks like Mr. Micklethwaite in this group. Looks like Phil Jones is in here. Phil Jones, another of our winners. And Phil from Brother, one of the winners of the OTE prizes, and those prizes are going out with the OTE 1000 as well. The Anytime Bar now, all of OTE's products are gluten free. Doesn't affect me, but certainly does my daughter, and she's over the moon that OTE's rather tasty bars are all gluten free, and the ones that go down well, the Duo bars particularly good if you've got a sweet tooth, if you've got something more savoury. The Anytime protein bar, really good as well. But of course the key part of the prize going out to people like Mr. Jones, member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, is those orange hydro tabs, pre-launch exclusive for Donny Chaingang Supporters Club members. So let's take a little bit of a look. We're just going to jump in with Mr. Grant here. So Grant riding nice and smoothly as well. Now Grant is another of our riders who has joined us on the gang and has improved week on week. And look at the numbers here: 138 beats per minute, 75 revs per minute, 233 watts, nice and smooth. Just behind, looks like Hopkins is trying to push onto that back wheel as well. Now's the time to form the groups, guys. This is all about jumping in. Find a wheel, grab a group, grab a pair of riders. Now for Kerrigan, this could well mean that standing land behind is probably going to be the rider who's going to see coming at 9 seconds. And standing land at the moment working well, just trying to close the gap down. Just see Kerrigan in front in the green. So then it's going to be Stuart behind. Stuart working well, got Sutcliffe, Lim, looks like Alex Forrester is in there and riding well as well. So looks like Alex just having a nice smooth one. Looks like the Red Beacon's getting in on the act with about cookies and cream duos. Yeah, not many, Benny. There's a fight in our household for all of the goodies. Now, our riders in groups here, it's great to see the riders behind. They know exactly what to do. This is what the ride's all about. Watching these groups, this is what we want to see. Groups forming together, becoming a pack, working together as a group, and that is what brings all of our riders on. Work as that group and stay as that group for as long as is possible. We're going to jump in with Dan Ladle. OTEs, oh yes, that is for sure. Got to agree with Russ there. So Chris from the Alliance Road and MTB squad. Chris, the skills coach, of course, in here riding the mountain bike for an extra tough workout. I'm a great believer that Chris is actually just a complete nutter in disguise. But chosen to ride a mountain bike up a mountain. I guess he kind of got that bit slightly wrong, but you know what? He's going to put in one heck of a workout, and he's always the team. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. I promise you, this man will have you in stitches, as well as being good for your soul as well. So let's jump up the road a little bit. So it looks like this is our next group up the road. Spence in here, Garford's in here, Breeden in here, King, Darren Topless. A little bit further back, let's have a little look. Mr. Catley's in here as well. Thomas and Hall, Edgar in this group. Just taking a look. Looks like Bryce Smithy going to be in the clutches of Rich Orrell. Brian, they're coming for you, mate. Here you go, jump in quick. Nice group there. Is Bry going to work into that group? Looks like Bryce Smithy kicking on here up to 4.3. Come on, Bry. Give it a bit of beast in here. You get in that group. Imagine it's the National Road Champs. The group behind's got a mountain biker in. You don't want to get caught by a mountain biker. It's only about 6 seconds. I think Bry's just worked out whether he's going to wait for them or not. But let's have a little look behind. Darren Topless, I think, in this group is going to be able to see Bryce Smithy. Bryce Smithy is the figure in pink. Another group just in front, and you can see everybody's working well here. Sort of like Smith is working there, coming for him. Craig Herring is coming for Bry definitely at the moment. And Bryce Smith is going to see them coming at a rate of knots behind. About 14 seconds from the back of this group to the next one. Come on, Brian, time to kick in now. So here comes the mountain bike, gets sweeping up Brian as Brian's reactions improve this time round. Is he going to get on the back of this group? Let's have a little bit of a look. Come on, Brian. Is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? Oh, I think that gap's come past. You've got to react so fast when a group comes in towards you. If you don't, they come past at such a pace. Now, we're heading off up the road. We're going to let these riders get round the roundabout. Then we're going to go slightly up the road to go find a certain Mr. Downing. Easier said than done when we just lose a few. Easy to get our riders coming back in. Here they come. It's really, really simple. The guys, as they come through, we can usually find them one place or another. So just riding in with Ted here at the moment. Andrew Edwards, one of the key supporters of the Donny Chaingang. Great to see him in action again. Running the Tron bike. Now, the Tron bike is overall the fastest bike on Swift. It is one of the quickest bikes, but it's not the fastest bike uphill. And that makes a big, big difference. That is for sure. Well, good to see Barry Kipling back in with us again. Barry, one of our regular riders over the early months, and back in again. And remember, of course, don't forget that the riders in here able to ride anytime for free. Remember, it is free to ride on the Donny Chaingang. There's no fee to jump in and jump on a ride. But if you want the best value, then it's not for free. And that is quite simply because the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, is how you can get on the rides, get the kit super early, get the links, get the details where we're going, get previews. And that way you will find out just what's happening super quick. Now, let's have a look at Mr. Ambrose, who's in here. So Ambrose is sitting in the group and looking super smooth here. Another of our members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, DCG gang. And good to see Mr. Ambrose sitting super smooth. Just keeping an eye on these riders. Looks like runner in this group. Hawkins in here. Let's have a little bit of a look through for some more of our members. Ian Brooks in the group. Another of the Bolsover gang. You can tell generally because they often ride in the green. So just watching Brooks, 175 beats per minute, 246 watts now. Tim Cooper is in here, and this number is just for Tim at the moment, 9710 7475. So it looks like somebody's poked the bear, which is not good. Means that no doubt tomorrow the phone lines will be busy. We'll be working through the company. Just putting Tim Cooper off there. So just still working our way through the gang. Just keeping an eye here on the Jimmy Allen. Not any Jimmy Allen. This is like Marks and Spencer's food. This is the Jimmy Allen. Looking super smooth here. Just be careful of those bars, mate. Delicate fingers, buddy. So the Jimmy Allen is on his way and well on to the climb. Looks like Sonny is just taking a little bit of a break at the moment on the watts. He's only kicking out 4 watts per kilo, you know, just 4 watts per kilo on his way up here. Just keeping an eye, just seen a few of our other regulars. So Dick is in here. Dick Samuel is one of our regular riders, and great to see his riding up here nice and smooth. Another of the members of the Donny Chaingang. Just going to look a little bit further down. Rich Orrell riding in this group, and Rich just going to take a look from the side. Yeah, nice lightweight back. Nice green paint job as well, mate. So it does match the kit very well. John Garfer on here in the groups, as you can see, just nicely starting to form. We're just going to run down. Mike Salkold in here, Mr. Kimball in this group. Just looking to see if Chris from the Alliance squad is in here. Has he got Brian for company? He's got Craig Herring for company, that is for sure. Here is Craig. So let's see how many Craig can catch on the climb on his way through. As he trolls his way past the riders, how many can he hook on his way up the climb? Charlie Babbitt in here. Good to see Charlie, another of our members of the DCG gang, keeping nice pedal cadence there, 90 revs per minute. This is what we want to see on the climb, and that's what it's about, being nice and smooth. Mr. Ferron in here, looks like senior in here. Dave Micklethwaite. Is that Dave? It is. Dave in the camo brown and green kit. That's looking super smooth now. Let's take a little bit of a jump back. I'm going to go about 6 seconds back, because I think Gurnhill is just in front of a chasing group, and it is going to be Phil Jones, I think, who's doing the job at the front. He's driving that little bus there. He's got Mac at 0 seconds, and Jarvis closing in on the back wheel here. So Jarvis will have the advantage. Our lighter riders, of course, when it comes to watts per kilo, have that advantage over those of us who've done too many pizzas and beers or too much time in the gym. For me, it's definitely pizzas and beers, I have to admit. Now, just keeping an eye on our Red Beacon. Red Beacon coming through. This is a cracking group today. And the Beacon, the bus at the back, pulling the riders along. Great to see a nice smooth ride here, holding those 5 together. Now the question is, can they sweep up Mr. Bolt? Bolt at the moment has got stronger and stronger with every ride pretty much, and he's at 3 minutes 26. So 3:26 to Martin Bolt. Dixon's at 4:06 with Tim Colby. That's a group of 2, and remember, these guys have a big pack together. So let's see how they are going. It's certainly looking pretty smooth down here. This is what the chain gang is all about. The ride set up to give everybody, whatever the ability, the enjoyment of getting out on the ride and heading out around the circuit with a group of riders. And of course, that's exactly what we aim to have. That's why the group needs to stay together as long as possible till that go, because quite simply, that is the point at which everybody is riding together. Now, you can see where the distance is on the road between that chasing group behind. That is our Red Beacon and Martin Bolt. Bolt just taking the turn up onto the climb. It's a drag to that roundabout, to that left-hand turn. And 42 seconds in group. We've got 42 seconds ahead, we have Dixon along with Corby. They've got Rob Carlin about 16 seconds up the road. Can't quite see Rob in the distance. Now that gap could come down. Rob's got plenty of targets in front of him. You can just see if we take a little bit of a look up, he could close on to Killer and Reed here. So just taking a little bit of a look, I think it is going to be Killer. It looks like Reed taking a jump off as we come up on to the big section of hill. Butcher is about 1 minute in front at the moment, and Butcher out of the saddle. Butcher well in front of that red beacon at the moment. Then I think it is going to be one of our female sprints. It is going to be Lysika Ennis here. So Lysika Ennis looking smooth on the climb, 83 revs per minute and just under 200 watts. Hopefully going to see them on our women's Chaingang tomorrow, and we won't be doing the big KOM. They've got we were looking for a rolling circuit for the next one in the women's Wednesdays. Macmillan is in front. And great to see Macmillan here out of the saddle, just kicking around really low revs, to be honest. Sub 50 revs per minute, that's less than 1 revs per second. Definitely a low revs per minute. Now, next up is Kerrigan. So Kerrigan here with 75 revs per minute. And if you contrast that to some of our lighter riders, they have generally somewhere around about 90 to 100. If you can get up well over the 140s, you're going to be able to those legs down pretty quickly indeed. I think my most regular is going to my most recent rev record I think was 180 the other day, but that was with very little resistance, I have to admit. Then went for a lay down in the corner, don't worry. Now Handley at the moment got Hopkinson on the wheel, Kerrigan at 6 seconds behind. Looks like Russ's limit is about that. Russ, one of our light rev riders, and definitely always been able to rev it round. But of course, Russ keeps on going when he does that. I don't. I get off the bike and fall over. So just keeping an eye on all these riders as they go up the climb, looking good. Don't forget, of course, you can make sure you get yourselves a snap of the climb. You can always do a screenshot from the coverage. So let's take a run up the road. Just doing John Paul Wheater going well on his way up here. Looks like Sean Ferron, Dubash working well, Kirkham. So we are steady away, working our way through this group. As you can see, plenty of riders out on a circuit. Looks like Russ got a nice big pack around him. Good to see plenty of people keeping the yellow beacon company. And we're just going to zoom out a little bit on this group. This is what we want to see in the Chaingang en masse climb of the hill here. Big ascent on the way up. Looks like Millie Skinner sitting in this group as well. Chance to ride with Russ on here. So looks good on the way up the climb. Mr. Thorpe sitting in here, riding with Russ and another of our regular riders, member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, Liam Calloway in this group as well. Definitely a chance for people to get a ride in with Russ up to the top of the climb. So it looks like Daryl TW in here, Daryl Tashil-Waller in here. Daryl, got your OTE prizes on the way. Daryl, of course, one of the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, and one of our winners of the exclusive OTE prize. Remember, of course, those are a pre-launch Orange Hydro tabs as well as a Duo bar and Anytime protein bar as well. So just jumping up with Andy Horse here, and Horsey I think just about to get mobbed by a fair few riders here in this group. So looks like Andy just jumping in with that yellow beacon group. Just going to take a little bit of a look at the road. Just looks like Taylor a little bit further in front now. Owen Fletcher is in the group here. Good to see Owen riding well. Owen, of course, one of our members of the DCG gang, and working well up in this with this big group that's coming together here, which is great to see. Just going to jump in with Chapel here. So Chapel again, keeping those revs nice and handy. This is what we want to see. 80 revs per minute or so is a great way to keep the pace rolling. Looks like Mr. Runner in the group, keeping it ticking round as well. Evans just in front, and Evans working his way up. I think that's the only time I've ever seen Russ say a climb being lovely. Now let's have a little look. Looks like it's the two Colemans together. This is going to be worth a screenshot. That is for sure. We're going to just get past the rest of the gang, because it is going to be Paul and Dan riding. We're just about riding together. So it's Paul on the wheels there in the yellow, and Dan in the blue and white. 34 revs per minute, really? Dan, are you seriously doing 34 revs a minute? Please tell me you're not. That's a scary, scary number, that is for sure. Tim Howcroft up here. Tim, of course, a time trial monster in his own right, and we've spent plenty of time racing against Tim, and good to see the guys out there. Emma, stop giving away the trade secrets. It is indeed a pizza tonight. Chris Ball can see the pub from here. Chris, well done. I wish I could see the pub. All I can see is a bottle of OT. Russ, I think we need to find a sponsor for some beers. That would be a lot easier, that is for sure. Looks like Culshaw just in here. Oh, look at those revs. That's what we want to see, 82. I'm on the hunt for the best revs per minute. Let's see what we can go for. Looks like 104. Look at that. Ambrose are working well. Just going to jump up with Simcox. Simcox up here. Kieran Simcox from the Army Cycling Union. And really looking forward to seeing the gang again. And gotta say, really good. I've always enjoyed working with the team, particularly when we've done things like the Inter-Forces Cyclocross. Always been a great event to be on the mic for. Nice socks and bike combo here from Sims as it just eases off. And just taking a little bit of a look at the guys up the road just a little bit. Looks like Tim Cooper's up here. Now, Tim is on the lightest setup on a climb. If you're looking for the best bike to ride up the Alp, not in real life, because in real life, of course, we all know that's Pinarello equipped with Halo wheels, but on Zwift, it is this setup. The grey and red bike with the lightweight wheels. And that will get you up to the top, the easiest with the least expenditure. And Tim, 8036 at the moment for you, mate. So let's just keep hunting up as we keep on trying to distract him. As we go for the birthday boy, what's the revs on the birthday boy? Looks like he's got Tristan from Harrogate in there. Birthday boy rolling around, nice 84 revs per minute, mate. Can you give us a wave? Can he actually hit the button? Oh, we're going to get 157. That is the record so far, mate. You've earned that slice, an extra slice of birthday cake and a wave. That's what we want to see. Happy birthday, buddy. And great to see you on the chain gang. Looks like that. Looks like those revs have just seen off the team up here. Looks like Tristan from Harrogate just being distanced on the way up the climb. Going to jump in with George Cooper. Yeah, the birthday boy is on fire, which let's hope that's the same for the birthday candles as well. Just in with Mr. Cooper. I know George is watching. George, how many revs can we get out of George? Are we going to get a super duper revs per minute? 157 being the number to be at the minute. He's going to drop up. Oh, come on. 166, 170, 170. Highest number I saw there, I might just miss it. So good to see 170 revs per minute from George Cooper. George, that is mad. You are a nutter. That is crazy stuff to do when you're on the climb. Mr. Priest just in front. Not sure we're going to get Donny Priest to do that kind of numbers. Let's jump up a little bit further. Ben from Veloviewer is on the wheels of John Wild here. So Ben getting a tow on the way up. John doing the hard work here, and Ben sitting on the wheels at the moment. Looks like both these just put out some smooth revs per minute at the moment. Just in with Finley Priest at the moment. Finley from the Stericycle division team. Running that Cape Epic bit of kit there. Looks like he's ticking along nicely. Kieran Smith moving smoothly. Young Mr. Gilmore riding well as well. Looks like Alex Hutchinson sitting in this group. These riders now approaching the top of the climb. It shows you just how spread out we all are. You can see the guys are working their way down and through here. Looks like John Wild may well have managed to drop Ben on the way through. That's a bit mean. Looks like he's dropped his teammate there. So Ben just starting to go backwards at the moment. Ben from VeloViewer. Come on, Ben. You know how long this climb is. VeloView, of course, the place to go to get the exact stats on how long the climb is. Then it's going to be George Cooper, then young Mark Ketteringham behind. Then it'll be Thomas, followed by, I think, Spence is in here. Tristan from Harrogate still continuing to push on. Steadily working our way through these groups. Lots of very smooth riding here. We're just on the hunt for the big pack behind. I think they're a little bit further back. Just riding in with Ronnie at the moment. Ambrose looking good in here, and Ambrose still on that bike. The revs have gone up to a little bit higher at the moment. We're going to drop back down to Rollet, and looks like Sonny's still there. I hope you haven't had to stop yet again. Yes, Neil from Crosscast. I knew you'd love VeloViewer. It is definitely a Neil Mansfield thing. The man behind some of the Pretty Critty kit with Caroline Mansfield, of course, key man when it comes to doing stats, and of course actually the head of an engineering department at a university as well, but an absolute stat fest. Now Alex Forrester in here, and Alex of course got black shoes, and he's actually developing a carbon fibre shoe. Good to see Nick Dawson here for Pretty Gritty Rock. Indeed they do. So Pretty Gritty is absolutely cool stuff. Mr. Herring, no, you're not there yet. If you hit the gantry at the top, if you see the polka dot banner, you know you've got to the top of the climb. Just riding in with Barry Kipling on his way up. Looks like Llewellyn is with him for company, not all that far behind. So Daryl in this group, and these fantastic hills here in Innsbruck playing host to the Donny Chaingang, and the riders pushing on up towards the top. Yellow is currently sitting a little bit further back. Let's have a little bit of a look. Let's see if the groups behind are going to close down on that yellow beacon. Andy Halls is in front of the yellow beacon, and I think you're going to find that out as the gang are on the way through. So Andy Halls just in front. Let's take a little bit of a run back down here. Kooslugs, Michael Hutchison in here, one of the men who did so much support for Adi Dench as well. Just going to run a little bit further down this group. Finn Donahue in the group here. Looks like Millie Skinner alongside, and just going past in the green. Millie, of course, another of our riders in the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. And Millie, of course, a very fast rider. And Millie coming to us from a little bit away from a normal stamping ground, but just as hilly down in Cornwall. So Neil from the Crosscast is in here. Neil in the all-black kit, just riding onto the wheel there. Looks like Pete Howis just in front of the one and only Bear himself. It is Russ Downing. So Russ's heartbeat at the moment 126, which means for a change on a King of the Mountains we might actually be able to get hold of Russ. Let's see if we can get him just as he's going through the pack. Russ, are you there, mate?
Oh yes.
Are you enjoying today's ride? I'm loving this pace up here. It gives me a chance to see loads and loads of riders.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous at the bottom there, you know, just trying to keep it calm before the leg snapper, and there was nobody was listening, so yeah, not in the mood for that, to be honest. So
well, it's really easy, isn't it? Because the advantage is everybody can get to ride in a group, and there's a nice big group around you at the moment. It's great to see actually so many people riding with the yellow beacon, and as you can see, loads of groups around and big groups forming. So actually we're seeing quite a lot of people coming back together again on this climb for a change.
Yeah, 3-4 watts per kilo what we're going at now. It's not to be sniffed at, you know. So that was the maximum number up leg snapper, and I was having to go 5 or 6 to get to the front, so it just made a mess of it. But we'll go again Thursday and see what muppets turn up then.
Well, I won't see them, and probably you won't see them. We'll let them go off the front as usual, and then eventually they'll just disappear. But lots of riders in the gang at the moment. This is a really good group going up here. I do believe that Chris from the Alliance MTB squad, the skills coach, has worked his way up somewhere around where you are. I'm trying to find him at the moment, and I think he's in your group.
I can see him in his tiger stripes or whatever he's got going on.
Yeah, he's riding well on the mountain bike. He's going to have to be working very hard to push out some serious watts per kilo there. And Neil from Pretty Gritty is actually sitting in with you at the moment in the black, just on your heels. And good to see Neil back in yet again on the Chaingang.
Yeah, I might just call an intermediate go or something from this group. And the K&R burn up just for the fun, like. But now, I say it's been enjoyable actually.
So, well, you've not got all that far to go. I have to admit, it's there are people all over the place. So Chris thinks he's a roadie. He's definitely not a roadie. I'll take him out on a road ride and rip his legs off once in a while. But I think I know you'll do the same to me off road, but I can at least give him a hard time on road. That's for sure. So it looks to me like this is a great group you're in. We're going to let you go back and concentrate on getting over the top of the hill, Russ, and may well catch up with you in a little bit.
Yeah, cheers, mate, and enjoy the piano-ness.
It's very good. So very good to catch up with Russ on the way up a climb. Mr. Hepton just a little bit further back there. Looks like Thorn just can see the Yellow Beacons group in front at the moment. Plenty of people continuing to push, and lots of private battles between club mates here. It always is a bit of a battle in between the guys on the Bolsover in district. You can see Chris has accepted my challenge. We'll make sure it's a nice, flat, fast ride that goes for a long way. Chris, don't you worry. I'll be picking my terrain very carefully. So just keeping a check through these riders. Could see Road Phil here, Phil Jones of Brother pushing onwards. Another of our regular riders on the Chaingang. He's just got a little bit of a gap, I think, on Hanley and Jarvis. They've got he and Lim got Turner about 14 seconds in front. Down Topless looks like he's got a little bit of company not too far away there. Bishop and Hayward in front. Looks like Matlock and Stuart from Pine Cycles behind. And Topless has got some Pine Cycles riders not all that far away. Looks like Sean Ferron in here. Sean, of course, one of our winners in the DCG gang draw. Riding nice and smoothly here. It's got plenty of people to keep in company, not too far away. We're going to go up the road a little bit. Looks like James well on the way up the climb, just going out of the village at the moment. Dan Ladle's in here. Dan used to be out of climb once upon a time and several kilos ago. Dan looking leaner all the time in his avatar. If that is a translation in real life, heaven help anybody who does go for a ride with him in real life, because Dan, a very talented rider indeed. Let's work our way down through some of these riders. Just watching Jarvis go through, and we're hunting for the Red Beacon and the Red Beacon group. Let's see who is in the pack, who is left in the pack. At the moment, I think Lisa Foxy looks like she's having a little bit of a rest prior to tomorrow's women's Chaingang. So Emma is here. It looks like Alan Parsons has swapped bikes over and gone for something a little bit lighter, and is on his way up there. and looks like Tickhill in there as well. Corby and Dixon just up the road here. So Tim Corby of Bolsover's got Dixon just in front. Rob Carling and Martin Bolt are just up there. And in fact, if we take a little bit of a look back from Martin, you can just see Carling chasing behind. Killer has got a bit of a gap then to McMillan and Liseka Ennis. So then it's going to be Butcher, Hopkinson and Grant Kerrigan up there. Phil Jones well on his way up towards the summit now. Looks like Ferrin and James working well. Dubash up there. Samuel is just coming up towards the turn as you go over the top. Just going to keep an eye. Thorne on his way. He looks like Neil from the Crosscast approaching the line. And I suspect Chris from the Alliance Road MTB squad is getting in some sprint practice, mate. Good stuff. You're going to need it as he goes through the line. Then it's going to be Kimball, followed by Wolfdale, Phil Ambler and Waller. Key on the way to the line being... I would say Chase, but I think Neil has got the least revsperminute.com for a while there. Coasting his way in up towards the line. Could he be in danger of being rolled here by Jackson and Wallace as they come up towards the line, and indeed he has been rolled. So looks like Jackson just going to come in through ahead of Wallace to go through the gantry. So they're through. Next through Thorne. I think John Paul Wheater looking to just go past Hall and Henderson just on the way towards the line. Langmead just pushing on. Dick Samuel just nearly at that line, mate. Another of our riders improving every week, heading up towards the line. So Samuel up over the line. Dubash comes through. Then it's going to be Ladle. Then it's going to be Mason. Mason, our next rider, coming up towards the line, followed by Catley. Good to see Mr. Catley coming up and through underneath the gantry. John Catley, of course, another of our regular riders. Then it's going to be Cornish. So Cornish through underneath the gantry, being chased to the line by Kirkham and James here. So it's going to be Kirkham followed by James on the way to the line. And then it's going to be Scotland. So Scotland at the moment in that Bikes and Beers jersey. Don't forget, of course, the Bikes and Beers ride on a Friday night. Always one of the highlights of the week. So Scotland going to be our next rider through. Then it's going to be Edgar. So Edgar in the blue there, pushing on to the line. 4 seconds clear of Sean Ferrin, and Ferrin just behind. Can see John Paul Wheaton, another good workout. It always is on a big climb like this. It certainly stretches our riders' legs. We'll see a lot of FTPs, I'm sure, as our riders came through, particularly with there being some big groups on that climb to help people up as well. So through goes Edgar, then it's going to be Ferrin. Colin Bell pushing to the line, 5.3 watts per kilo. So Bell goes to Beefy from Cycle Waste. Then it's going to be Mac and Williams. Then it's going to be Matlock going through. So going to be a push to the line, and just going to stay clear, I think, of Hayward. Hayward, of course, one of our winners on the Chaingang. Come in close, come in quick. Is he going to get him? It's going to be tight. Oh, it's going to be so tight on the line. It is going to be Hayward just getting him as they go up and over through the line. Then it's going to be Stuart from Pine Cycles, who has come past Darren Topless. Topless has a Bishop for company, but it's going to be Bishop who's going to take this as they come to the line. So great riding by Bishop, followed by Topless. And then it's going to be Gurnhill. Gurnhill's got limit 6 seconds, but that's a sufficient gap at this stage. So Gurnhill's going to be our next rider up to the finish line here on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel, covering all of the Donny Chaingang. So Gurnhill comes through, chased to the line by Lim, and then it's going to be Phil Jones from Brother Phil, another member of the DCG gang. And Phil, of course, will be getting more emails through the week with all those discount codes in there, all of the offers, the giveaways. And Phil, of course, winner in the OTE giveaway earlier on, and Phil going to get some products to try out as well from OTE. So great to see him coming through. Going to go back to Handley. It's going to be Handley followed by Turner and then Jarvis. So Jarvis, our next rider, who's going to be hitting that line at the moment. Jarvis looking pretty smooth on this section of a climb here. Joe Jarvis, of the members of the DCG gang, and Jarvis riding nice and smoothly up towards the summit of the climb. Got plenty of time between her and the riders behind, 18 seconds back to the nearest rider at the moment. So Jarvis getting a wave on the camera as well. So Joe Jarvis now approaching the line. Are we going to see a sprint out of Joe? Is there anything left in those legs left to sprint? Is she going to be saving them for tomorrow? I suspect Jarvis likely to be saving them for the women's only chain gang tomorrow. Remember, the women, of course, could well ride 3 chain gangs this week. It's more than possible. And if you're out and riding on the chain gang and one of our female riders, then please do sign up for that. Remember, there's all abilities on there from professionals right the way through. And I'll be brutally honest, it's much better behaved than the open chain gang. It generally is slightly more cooperative and generally goes quicker as well with more success. So always good to see the riders on there. So if in doubt, make sure you get on there if you're one of our female riders. If you've never ridden the chain gang before, make sure you get on there. Looks like a little kick up there coming into the line. There could well have been a little bit of a wheel slip then coming over. So sitting back down quickly as Max comes through the line. Kerrigan chasing. Kerrigan's the nearest rider. It's got Mark Grant behind. So Kerrigan, one of our newer riders, got Grant, who's becoming one of our more experienced riders. He was a relative newbie, or not all that long ago, but certainly knows to push on, and I think he's going to come past Kerrigan here. Knows that we're going to cover it to the line. So Grant putting out 5 watts per kilo just to break the gap. Remember, the draft on Zwift is 6 meters. That's 3 bike lengths, and that's the critical number that everybody needs. So Grant coming in now. The sprint to the line comes 4.8 watts per kilo. Let's see what time is Grant going to get his personal best time up at the KOM. We're going to find out very shortly. So Grant comes through. Is that going to be his personal best time? Tricky to just sort of watching to see if it's going to tick in and through. Behind is Kerrigan. Kerrigan comes through the line, and it's going to be Hopkinson. So Hopkinson, another member of the DCG gang, on his way up. Trademark cap there and moustache for Hopkinson, and good to see him. I think it could well have been one of his first rides, was one of our previous rides up here, and Hopkinson looking smooth on his way in here. 108 revs per minute. Nice pedal revs, mate. Keeping it smooth, and that's what we want to see in the run to the line. That gantry's coming up in front, and Hopkinson on his way in now. So great riding by Hopkinson, just pushing into the line. 4.7 watts per kilo on that last run in, and it's all about keeping those watts going. See if you can get your best times up and over. Usually the case on the chain gang. The riders improve time and time again. It's meant to be a great workout, something to look forward to. And Hopkinson comes through. Behind it is going to be Lasika Ennis, the rider chasing. Got the green jersey on here, riding on the Tron bike. And Lasika Ennis now pushing out at 4.2 watts per kilo, just easing a little as the gradient backs off towards the line. Looks like Butcher, McMillan, Killer Bolt, Carlin, Corby, Dixon, Ridley, Payne, Tickle, all behind Lasika Ennis. And will we see Lasika Ennis on the women's chain gang tomorrow? Well, make sure you tune in to find out on the Donny Chain Gang live on the Down in Cycling YouTube channel. Make sure you give it a subscription and then get notified whenever we go live, whether that's a draw or, of course, the coverage of the Donny Chain Gang. So up to the line comes Lasika Ennis. She pushes up and over in that green sprint jersey. We're going to drop back to Butcher. Another rider improving. And remember, it's not all that long ago when Butcher was a rider who is being distanced by the red beacon. Not to be today. And a rider who's definitely improved on the way through. And going to be glad, no doubt, of seeing the line. Big old climb this. Doesn't matter whether you're as fast as Russ or as slow as me. You are going to know about that climb, and good to see Butcher improving on the way through. Behind it's going to be Macmillan, then going to be Killer, Bolt, Carling, Corby, Dixon, Alan Parsons, Mr. Ridley, and then I think it's going to be Emma and Tickle on the way up here. I think it's Mark, if I remember rightly. Apologies for no first names. Minor tech issues today, causing us not to get names coming through for first names anyway, which is a bit weird, but there you go. So in with Macmillan, who's now pulling up on to the top of the climb. 52 rests per minute is definitely a low rest per minute there, but one of our bigger riders, so are going to be feeling that. Now remember, if you have got a smart turbo tree, you can adjust the resistance. You don't have to absolutely slay yourself on a massive resistance. It's all about getting the feel. Remember, Swift Design, this is a game, and all of these rides can be adjusted to do what you want out of them, whether you want to do a super fast res per minute, 170 whatever it was from Mr. Cooper, 160 from Birthday Boy Casheringham, or whether you want to be able to do a low rev power workout at 49 revs per minute. So Macmillan definitely doing a low rev but a high power coming through at the moment at 200 watts. Remember, it's all about getting that workout done on the hill. Behind Killer kicking out much quicker, 87 revs per minute, but Macmillan now with a view of the gantry coming up and looking smooth as coming up to the top of the King of the Mountains, being chased by our red beacon, the beacon sweeping up behind. So Macmillan now coming up towards the gantry and going to be making the way through the line, looking good with the Alps in the background here in Innsbruck on Zwift. Massive thank you to Zwift for keeping the show on the road, as well as all of our sponsors, supporters, and of course the guys who are members of the DCG gang. If you're not a member, then please do have a little look. Lots of things that make it well worthwhile, from discounts to giveaways, unique opportunities, nutrition talks as well, and plenty of reasons, as well, of course, as the fact that we will send you all of the links. First and foremost, you are our priority when it comes to getting those links and getting them out there, opening the ride, so our members able to join before anyone else. They take priority, obviously, because they're the guys who keep the show on the road and are invested in making the ride happening. So Killer, our next ride into the barriers here, soon going to be in amongst the crowd. You can just hear them just coming alongside. We can have virtual crowds even if we can't have real ones. So great to see it's looking like there is at least a plan set out, although we don't obviously know what the time scale is for events opening up now. This is going to be a really interesting finish. We have Rob Carling, who has got one heck of a sprint on him, with Martin Bolt, who is potentially the lighter of the two riders. Martin, though, is half as old again as Rob Carling is. I think if I can do my maths right, I think he's almost exactly half as old again. Can Martin answer Rob's sprint when it comes? At the moment, just losing a little bit of ground here, and here comes the sprint from Carling. Carling putting in a big kick. He's a long way out from the line. He's not even in the barriers now, but 11.6 watts per kilo. Really is pushing on here. So big kick from Carling. That is a long way to go at 11-12 watts per kilo. Huge kick. Can Rob maintain this to the line? Come on, Rob. Just going to drop back in, losing Rob there. So Rob just dropping out of the screen there. So we're just going to drop back in with Bolt. That was a big old kick. I think he blew it apart there, did Rob Carling. So Carling blowing the screens apart. Martin Bolt's going to be our next rider up to the line. Rob Carling just dropping back in again there. So Rob, apologies for missing you coming across the screen, your moment of glory. We do have plenty of sprints covering Robin, lots of the sprints, and next up is going to be Martin Bolt. Bolt kicking to the line, 133 beats per minute as he rolls in and through. Now we're going to drop it down to our next dynamic duo. This is going to be Dixon and Corby. So Dixon just seeing Corby moving up onto the front. You can see just how steep this climb really is if we zoom out. As we go alongside the buildings, it really does take its toll. Particularly if you've got a smart trainer. 10% for the guys at the moment on this section of climb, and really is about keeping that pace as high as you can. Keep the revs high, keep it smooth, keep it rolling on the way through, and that's what we want to see. So Dixon now just seeing that gap opening just a little bit as they come round. It is going to level off as you come out from the village and go past the odd funicular rail tracks on the way up this climb. You can see it just levels off a little bit, then you've got a slight kick up to the line, but nothing like that 10% kicker that the rider's just been over. Behind then looks like Alan Parsons just on his own here, and just keeping those revs nice and high. 110 revs per minute, 128 beats per minute, 166 watts. Then it is going to be Tickle and Emma now doing a 2 up here to get themselves up to the line. So we're going to jump up the road a little bit to Dixon. Dixon now coming out on to this slightly more level section. You can just see if we go to the 3D view, the gantry just starting to open up in front. So just seeing with our helicopter view there, Corby pushing on past. He's seen the gantry. He went over the top of Dixon. Dixon's responded to get back on the wheels. This is a real battle. These two have been riding together a long time out on the course. Is this gap going to open up? Riding in with Corby at the moment. He's really starting to open this up. He was up at 7 watts per kilo. There's a response though from Dixon behind. Can Dixon bring this down? The gantry's coming. If you see the top right of your screen, you'll see it getting closer. At the moment, that gap isn't all over by any stretch of the imagination. Dixon keeps on putting a push in. Corby keeps on responding. And it's all about who can keep it going to the line. Dixon now at the saddle again, putting another kick in, but Corby's up at 7 watts per kilo, keeping it really smooth for that kind of wattage as he pushes in towards the line, and the gap has gone, so it is going to be Corby who's going to get this coming in through the line, takes it from Dixon. Dixon's going to be our next rider in, and as you can see there, now starting to spin the lactic out of the legs in preparation for this downhill. So Corby from Dixon. Now the two riders that go in and through start the climb pretty much together by the look of it. Behind it's going to be Alan Parsons, our next rider on the road. So Mr. Ridley, Alan himself out in action and swapping for a light bike. We give Alan a big thumbs up here as we go up past the side of the village here. So Alan now starting to make his way on that steep section, 10% the climb here And as you can see, if we get the camera just away from the vegetation, easier said than done today. You can just see the Alps in the distance. It is a steep old slope, this, as the riders go up alongside the hills, working their way up through the pass here. And of course, down the other side, if the riders want to make the most of that downhill, it gives you extra points. Remember, of course, points and drops for our riders means better kit, because just like in real life, the more you ride, the more you want to buy kit, and the better kit you can buy because you earn them by drops of sweat here on Swift. So Alan keeping the revs nice and high, 111 beats per minute. Let's have a little look at Emma. Emma currently ticking at about 80 revs per minute and 128 beats per minute. And Emma keeping the messages going, messages of encouragement. There is one more steep section for Emma to deal with, which is about an 8 to 10% coming up. These guys are going to make it, and this is the Donny Chaingang. We don't leave anyone behind. It's not Top Gear rules here. And as you can see, Tickhill just jumping on the wheels here. They're onto this steeper section here. And let's keep the eye on Tickhill, keeping those revs nice and high, 90 revs per minute, 142 beats per minute. So Alan on a good spin tonight. He's definitely having a good spin. He's at least going faster than the washer trying to get the grit out from a cross race at the moment. So watching Alan coming alongside the building works here. As we come up the climb, Alan, of course, riding that green jersey, a Bolsover member, a Donny Chaingang rider, really from its inception, one of our regular riders, a member of the Chaingang supporters club, the DCG gang, and looking particularly smooth, kicking at 120 rests almost. If Alan can keep over 115, 120 rests to the finish, he'll be there in no time at all. And certainly he's kicking on well. Just see that heart rate currently about 134 beats per minute. He's up to 140. What we're going to get out of Alan? Alan, can you do 170? Can he make 170? I don't think he can. We shall find out. So Alan just taking a little bit of a ease off, and hopefully not going to get off. Let's see what he kicks out on that last run in. Let's little sprint in towards the line. Could well be he's going to actually wait for our dynamic duo here. He's kicked the chain off. He was going that quick. Alan, get your chain back on quick, mate. So Alan going so fast he actually managed to knock his chain off behind Tickhill and Payne, taking advantage of that, and you just see Tickhill just pushing on here. Even at 10 kph, you're going to find there is an advantage. The draft on Swift definitely has an effect. So Alan clearly having entertaining moments with his chain at the moment. So we always say that riders should learn how to put the chain on. Let's see if he's managed to achieve it this time round and it actually stays on. No, not again. Always worries me when a mechanically minded rider of Alan's skill struggles to get it together. It's just in with Emma and Mr. Tickhill here. They soon going to see that gantry coming up on their screens. They're going to come around this right-hand turn. There's a 10% kicker just on the side here, just as Tickhill pushes on again. As it levels off, you can just see the differences in weight and power between these two riders. Let's jump back in with Alan. Let's see if Alan can keep the chain on for more than about 3 seconds on his way up the hillside here. I just have a quick nature moment. Listen to the birds singing. So Alan just putting up, he might have to carry the bike over the line. I sincerely hope not, Alan. That is for sure. Looks like he's got it back into gear. Just pedal really smoothly, buddy. So can you see the gantry? Is Alan going to get through? Is he going to have problems with the bike? Emma just doing a little bit of slushing there. Is it too clogged with mud? I hope it's not. Alan's bikes are usually spotless. So looks like that's allowed. Oh, he's got problems again. Do you know what? We could see here Tickle and Payne close this gap down. They're just coming up to that same part of the building. This is where it's a little bit steep. It looks like Alan's not got Maddie in the pits. Indeed, not Maddie. I think he's going to be on the Donny Chaingang tomorrow night. And just seeing Alan just keeping those revs down at the minute, keeping the watts down. Looks like some TLC required as he creeps to the line. Is this going to be... we're going to see a roach-like approach from the guys behind. Are they going to appear out of nowhere and steal it from Alan? Alan nursing that bike home at 5 watts, 0 watts again. This gap is going to come down really quickly if he's not careful. He could well get pipped to the line here. As he's nursing it in towards the line, it looks like the guys behind just keeping the pace ticking on over here. Ridley going to make it. He is. Alan Parsons comes through the line. The crowd goes wild. Alan gets off the pedals. And he's made it in and through. Well done, Alan. You do indeed need your pit wife Maddie to help you out with the mechanic in there. That is for sure. So I was just going to kick it into the downhill section, let it roll down. You don't go up that hill without making the most of the downhill and getting those points as you go through, which means we're going to drop in to our red beacon. That's Emma from the AEO group, the team, the AEO race team. And without their riders tonight because the race is stopping, so Emma taking on red beacon duties. And of course, she's our yellow beacon on Women's Wednesday on the Donny Chaingang. And don't forget the Women's Wednesday on the Donny Chaingang is always welcoming new riders. So the gantry in sight on the map, not far to go. They're going to have a view of it. I think this is the riders' view at the moment. As they come up this climb, they're going to see it coming out of the trees any second. And when they do, I'm sure there's going to be a cheer from the two riders on the way up. Here comes the gantry coming into sight now. They know that they've not got too far to go here on the Donny Chaingang. So I read beacon, the Chevron flying over the top of the AEO riders, Emma Payne, and Mr. Tickle has seen that red gantry. He knows he's not got far to go now. I think Emma's likely to kick back onto the wheel fairly quickly here. Experienced rider and racer Emma. There's a little bit of a kick from Mr. Tickle. Can he keep the pace rolling? Are we going to see a sprint between the two of them? We'll jump in with Tickle at the moment as Emma goes on to the front. And it's don't poke the bear. We do say don't poke the boss on, don't make the boss angry on a Wednesday night. Don't poke the bear on a Tuesday night. Personally, I've been drinking the yellow beacon, the bear coffee, with fantastic artwork from Karl Kopinski. Now, is Tickle going to push up and over? He wants to get over the line. There's about 10 metres before it take him downhill for 3 points. So over the top, then it's going to be a warm down, and good to see Tickle making it up and to the top of the climb. Emma, our red beacon, going to be rolling over the top with Tickle here. As the gantry starts coming, are we going to see a little bit of a sprint from the line from this duo? Here they go. The crowd is starting to shout as they go in towards the line. So the map on the top showing it's coming. Here comes the gantry. Here's the shadow, and they go across the line together. Tickle noses up and over, eases off those pedals. I got to say a massive thank you to our red beacon. That is Emma. So as Emma rolls away down, just warming down on the way down. A massive thank you to all of our riders. So tonight you'll notice that we didn't cover the front of the ride that is the Donny Chaingang. It is a ride. Occasionally it's a race. In fact, usually it's a race. Tonight it wasn't. And that is quite simply because people didn't keep the group together, so there wasn't a point at which we could say, go, go, go. So Russ calling it as a roll up to the top. So of course we're going to cover as many of our riders as we can on the way in. Don't forget guys, make sure you read the description before you start. It's really simple. Stay around the yellow beacon. You can't go far wrong. Even I understand that bit, and I'm not the brightest button in the sewing kit, let's face it. So we'll see you again on Thursday. From Russ, from myself, Matt Payne, a big thank you for riding, a big thank you for watching the coverage here on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, and we will see you again tomorrow for Women's Wednesday on the Donny Chaingang live here on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel.